So I just wanted to spotlight three of our apprenticeship programs that we have put into place at this moment. I think everyone has heard about or may know that there is sort of ongoing workforce or labor shortage in the healthcare space. It actually started before the pandemic and has just been exacerbated. Of course, we've seen people leave in droves, especially in the nursing field, and there is an absolute need to begin to really dig in and do the work of building out a stronger pipeline into a variety of healthcare professions. And one thing to also note is that it's pretty unusual, it's still very new to have apprenticeships in the healthcare space. Fraction and sort of implications, if you will, with working with patients, an apprenticeship is just not something that has been done.
And with that being said, we were facing huge issues ever since 2012, 2013, or a lot of German subsidiaries here, the lack of skilled workforce. And at that time, there were two issues. Number one is we don't find the people with the right skills. Number two was retention. And I tried to spoil this survey here a little with the retention rate and 3 exclamation marks, because from what we know from our companies, that's the biggest challenge right now. Nowadays, we don't even talk about skills anymore across the board. We're just like, find me people that I can hire. I'm not so much looking into skills. I hire for attitude, and the rest I'm going to do for myself.
I have a question. For both of you, Ruki and Mario, seems like the structuring of the programs is an important piece. You talk about the testing and the skill development and the mentors, which is also the critical in terms of the preceptors in the medical or the managers who are going to be supporting them. How important is the structuring of the program in a systematic way in terms of making sure that people do develop the skills they need? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Do you want to go ahead, Rukia?
Okay. So it's extremely important to think about the structures and sort of a comprehensive framework to support the learner, right? Especially if we're talking about supporting them in a way that we want them to be successful. We want the organization, in our case, it's the department, to feel really good about this process, because especially in the healthcare space, this is different. This is a bit different than from what they're used to seeing. On the medical side, they're very much into, what's the highest level of education, at least especially in our space. And then you come on for your training, et cetera, while you're in your bachelor's program. And it's been that way for a very long time here. And so to do things even a bit differently for the host preceptors or for the departments, and I think especially with the shortages that are going on, we have to be very structured in terms of how we're engaging them and sort of onboarding the apprentices into the various departments.
I completely agree, Rukia. I mean, structure also is super important for those companies who want to implement that. You cannot just throw the paperwork or a handbook on the desk of the HR manager and then say, go for it. It just doesn't work. No, and you need some structure also for everyone in the company to feel comfortable with what's coming ahead. And so that's the one thing. The other thing is, like, when you look at companies, how do companies work and function? Everything is structured because you cannot manage what you can't measure. And in order to be able to measure, you have to structure things. So to make it a successful both, also for the companies, you need that structure. And how do you come up with that? And again, I mean, there's so many resources out there, so many people that can help you and support you until you find your own sweet spot where you feel comfortable. That's true. And Rukia, to your point then as well, for the apprentice, the structure is also good, because the main target group for the companies that hire in our program right now is high school graduates.